days when somebody strangled her. She had a 4-month-old baby, and she and the father, Michael, were planning their wedding. She was likeable, she was straightforward, and why she was killed is a mystery that maybe someone watching can now solve.
It's the Cookie Monster.
She had a thing about car boot sales. Every time I went down a car boot sale, she would immediately go to the nearest store that had the baby clothes or the baby toys on.
We can always get round in you and me, can't we?
She was always pestering me for, you know, a couple of quid here and a couple of quid there, so she could go and buy those things, which made me laugh. We've been together about 2 years. She was a fun-loving person. She loved Sarah Louise. She was a good mother to Sarah Louise. She would have made a good wife for me as well.
Can you get some ice?
Yeah, sure. Is it right if I have a fag while I'm down there?
Yeah, no problem.
Sharon worked 3 nights a week at the Market Cross pub in Grantham.
Not so bad, are you?
There's not a job that she wouldn't do. You know, it's very hard to find people like that. She was one of the best. One of the best. And I miss her.
Tonight, police hope to eliminate a man seen by a friend of Sharon's a month before she died.
I was on my way to Woolworths when I saw Sharon at the rear of Morrison's in the passageway. She was stood with a man. They were talking quite intensely. I walked past them and carried on towards Woolworths. I came out 10 to 15 minutes later and walked over to the short wall by the passageway to have a cigarette. As I sat down, I saw that Sharon was still talking to the man. She seemed to move away from the man towards me, and he followed her. I did think Sharon looked relieved to see me.
Who's that? Doesn't matter.
She didn't want to tell me.
Don't do that.
So being nosy, I strained to watch him walk away.
If this was you, please call. Friday, July the 1st. Sharon was working at the pub and her boyfriend Michael worked nights, so Sharon's friend Emma used to babysit.
We'd known each other for about 6 years, and we just hit it off straight away. She's got a great personality.
You alright? Okay. I've just put him down.
She came around about 6:30, 7:15, like what she did every Friday.
If you need them, and I'll give you the key just in case you need anything else. Okay. So I'll see you at the usual time. Yeah, I'll see you later. Bye-bye, darling.
She just stayed for a couple of minutes.
See you later.
And then she went off to work.
Still going out Sunday night? Yeah, of course so. Where do you want to go then, Doug? I don't mind, it's up to you. Should we start off the King's Arms to see how we go?
Yes, that's great. Is Marcus still looking after Sarah Louise?
Yeah, bless her, it's good like that.
Yeah, it looks nice. Did you do it yourself?
Yeah.
It was just a normal, typical Friday night.
Yes, Doug, what can I get you?
Nothing unusual about it, and Sharon was in a really good mood.
Thanks a lot for coming along, ladies and gentlemen. Finish your drinks now, please, and start to make your way out the door. Thanks a lot.
After the last people have gone, we always have a drink at the end of the night.
I'm off mood.
Okay, see you later. Take care.
One of the last people to leave was Sharon. Nothing out of the ordinary with her. She said cheerio, and I see her go by the windows. It was the last time I saw her.
Got to the pipes in the morning as well.
Sharon often walked home. Did you see her when she left the pub shortly after midnight?
You okay?
By now, Emma and her boyfriend Simon were expecting Sharon back to pick up the baby.
Oh, you're all right for a bit longer.
Meanwhile, on Harloxton Road, not far from the pub, according to an anonymous caller, Sharon was arguing with someone outside Archway's garage.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks.
Were you that driver? Please phone us now. You're a crucial witness. The caller described the man as being in his mid-30s and with long, dark hair. Next, a taxi driver noticed Sharon. She'd now gone back towards the pub and to a public phone.
I was travelling along Wharf Road towards the roundabout when I saw Sharon arguing with a gentleman outside the phone box. It seemed at the time that the gentleman was pulling Sharon away from the phone box if Sharon wanted to get into it. I noticed that the gentleman was wearing a white short-sleeved t-shirt and jeans, and he had shoulder-length hair. I'd arranged to meet Sharon at 8 o'clock to go shopping. When I arrived home from work, I noticed that the kitchen light was still on, which I found was unusual.
Sharon? Sharon? Sharon?
Next day, Sharon was discovered among undergrowth in a car park, not far from where she'd last been seen. She'd been strangled. Mr. Clifton, most points of appeal are pretty self-evident from that reconstruction, but perhaps what's not self-evident is you're very, very anxious to get that anonymous caller to ring again who saw Sharon just before she disappeared.
There were, in fact, 2 anonymous calls, both of which came in on Monday the 4th of July, which was really the first day of this inquiry. And the information given by both anonymous callers was very, very similar. Now, there are 3 possible motives for those calls. The first is that it's an out-and-out hoax. The second, that it's the killer who's trying to lay a false trail. And the one that we actually favour is that the man who rang in actually saw what it was that he described to us. Because of that, we think that he probably saw the killer. So he's very central to our inquiry, and we need to speak to him.
Now, he may say to himself, but, you know, I've told you what I saw. Why do you need any more information?
Well, he told us that the man that he saw was about 30 years of age with long dark hair, but different people have different perceptions of what is long hair. For some it'll be on the collar, for others much longer. He also said that he'd seen Sharon with this man before. When? Where? These are the sort of questions that we need to put to this man.
And he plainly knows her well.
He does indeed. In fact, he claimed that on the second call, and we believe that the 2 calls are probably made by the same person, although that's not self-evident. On the second occasion, he said that he was so concerned about this argument that was going on that he slowed his car down and spoke to Sharon through the window of the car.
As we saw in that reconstruction there. He also said that he thought that man was wearing a Leeds United t-shirt like this.
Yes, the first caller said that the man was 30 years of age with long dark hair and was wearing a white Leeds United shirt. Now, there are several strips, and this is one of them.
OK. Now, the man in Grantham city centre that we saw a month earlier, roughly a month earlier, sometime in June, this is somebody who looks similar to the description, I know, but this is really someone you want to eliminate from the inquiry.
Yes, indeed. There's no evidence at all to indicate that this man is anything at all to do with the murder. The mere fact that he fits the description of that given by the anonymous caller means that we need to trace him and eliminate him from our inquiry.
OK, Sharon was likeable, she didn't have an enemy in the world, no obvious motive for this. You need to find, I gather, anybody but anybody who ever knew her in any capacity.
Yes, we have traced a number of people. You're quite right when you say that no motive is clear. Certainly it's not clear to us what the motive was, although, as we've already said locally, that there are some items missing from the body. But we don't believe that robbery or theft is the actual motive. It's not clear to us what it is. We need to build up quite a comprehensive picture of Sharon's lifestyle. We're in the throes of doing that with a number of people, but anybody that can add new information, we'd be delighted to hear from.
Mr. Clifton, thank you. The number here is free. It's 0500 600 600. Please, if you knew Sharon, if you can help in any way, call us or try the incident room in Grantham. That's 0476 62501. 0476, the code for Grantham, 62501.